So I've been working through my to-read stack. I recently read Blackbird and I read Sparrowhawk. One was really good, one was mediocre at best, but I read these two books. But the one I want to talk about really was read the second issue of this. I read Outpost Zero, issue 2. Now, if you heard my review of issue 1, I really, really enjoyed it. And I enjoyed Outpost Zero, issue 2 just as much. Let me say, Outpost Zero, it's a series, it's set in an icy world. And the Outpost Zero, I guess, refers to the colony of humans living under this protective dome. The story focuses on young people living in the colony. And at the end of the last issue, a massive storm was rolling in. And just as it was hitting, without warning, the character named Steve ventured out into the cold. This issue opens up after the storm's passed, and I guess we're at Steve's funeral here. And this is Steve's father. He was going to make a fine engineer. Would have been a good dad, a great dad. Decent to everyone. Patient. I thought I raised him to be stronger. And that's the theme really here with Steve's suicide. This is Dad's eulogy. He's talking about his son, and he calls his son, he wasn't strong enough. He'll be referred to as a coward later in the book. And it really drives home the point of calling suicide a cowardly act, because I guess, everybody works together in the community, and by Steve killing himself or putting himself outside the dome in the storm, thus ultimately committing suicide, you have, they call it a coward's death, I guess, because he leaves the colony behind. Now we open up here. These are our main characters. I think it's Aliyah or Aliyah is her name, the main character here. This is really who the story of the focus of the story is on. She's talking to her friend. She's remembering Steve. You have this character, Sam. It's just a really sad funeral here. And now she mentions to Mitchell, she asks where Maddie is. Now, this was a thing from the first issue. Maddie was a character that was missing in the first issue, and now she's kind of missing in this issue. So it's something they're setting up for the... it's got to mean something in the long run. Now, here is again, she's talking to Mitchell, and she's talking about Steve. And again, Mitchell refers to Steve as a coward. Again, referring to him going outside the dome and ultimately committing suicide as a cowardly act. I really think the writer's trying to say something here about suicide, ultimately. So it's kind of how it goes down. He makes a scene at the funeral, calling him a coward, and kind of storms away, kind of resonating what Steve's own father said about him. Now, we catch up with Laya in her room. Her father comes in to talk about her, console her about her friend's death, and also tell her that now she's going to be on the planning team. Right now, this planning team is where her job assignment is. And this kind of gives us a little more information about the governmental structure of the outpost, which we learn more about as the story progresses. Now we meet up with Sam again. Now, Sam was the last person to see Steve alive before Steve left the dome. So he goes out to Steve's memorial and is kind of talking to Steve. And he brings this kind of Roomba-looking robot along. I don't know if there's any significance to this or not. But Mitchell shows up, and Mitchell is not happy to see Sam. There's a confrontation. He blames Sam for what Steve ultimately did, and he kicks the robot. So it's kind of it doesn't go well with the two of them. Going forward, there's kind of some political stuff or some bit work stuff. We have some great scenes with Laya and her mother. They really do great character things in this book. That's really what the point of the book is. It's more about characters than it is about action. There's a great mystery. It runs real deep. We're given a little more information than we had in the first issue, but ultimately it's about the kids, dealing with grief, and it's great. They established the characters really strongly in the first issue, and in this issue, they take them a little bit further as they're dealing with the grief of what happens to Steve and the mystery of why he did it. And that's really what runs deep in this book, is this mystery. I'm going to leave it there because there's a couple more pages here, and I don't want to spoil what happens next. It's just really kind of, like I said, adds to the mystery. The characters are given some information we learned in the first issue, but then we're given additional information that kind of, it doesn't really answer any questions, but raises more questions, which is kind of nice because it sets it up for the next issue. After such a strong character-driven first issue, this was a great follow-up. The story, like I said, now is driven by the mystery of why Steve did what he did, but it also takes these characters that were well established in issue 1 and pushes them forward. Like I said, it pushes them forward with grief And it's a great story. So far, I have to say, Outpost Zero is an A-plus book across the board with great character-driven storytelling and a perfect art to complement the story. It's simplistic art, but it really conveys the characters. I mean, we're in a high-tech sci-fi world, and it's really more about what's on the characters' faces than it is all the technology. It's a well-done book. Yeah, so that's about it. Like I say, if you can get to your comic store and they still have issue 1 or 2, I think issue 4 is coming out this week, but I have issue 3 right here. I'm about to dig into that and see what happens there. I am hooked in this series. If you haven't checked out Outpost Zero, I strongly recommend that you get to your comic store, see if they still have copies on the shelf or in their back issue bins. If not, I guess you can check out Comixology and get a digital copy. But all around, I have to say, Outpost Zero is a top-notch book, pretty much the best thing that I feel Image is putting out right now. All right, that's about it. Hey, thanks for watching. If you're reading Outpost Zero, please leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts. Also, hey, do me a solid and go ahead and like this video. That's hitting the old thumbs up button down there. Subscribe to our channel, and once you do that, go ahead and hit the bell icon to be notified when we post up new videos. That's what the bell icon's for, so make sure you use it. Finally, keep an eye on CosmicTimes.net. We're going to be updating our site as we gear up for 2019. We're closing out a bunch of 2018 business, hopefully, and we're going to start gearing up for 2019. And our website at CosmicTimes.net is going to be the source of all that. So that's about it. Until next time, stay cosmic.